they came knocking on the door and telling us, everybody get up, get up, get up, let's go. And started shooting at us. I'm from Liberia, West Africa. I was born in Nukertown. That's outside of Monrovia. My mom didn't have much, when my dad was gone, and she managed a little she had to keep us going. So it was a struggle, but she keep us grounded. And I remember seeing her praying over people, and people would come. She had a room in the house that was like a prayer room where she would pray over people, and people get healed. Like literally, people come in there sick and they walk out of there feeling better. Soccer was something that we played, our sport that we play after school. So it was fun. It was a community kind of environment. So everybody in the community knows you, and if you do something wrong, they can tell your parents and stuff like that. Until the war started, I was still little, but I remember that the day where the entire place got quiet. We were hearing guns shooting all over the place. Everybody was in the houses. After a while, bullets flying over the place, and they tell everybody to get out. Right. So just before that time, my two older brothers joined the military. They joined the Liberian Armed Forces. They were recruiting because the rebel faction was overpowering, and so they came to the city and recruited. My two older brothers decided to join. When they took over our area, they told everybody to come outside, and they told us to leave. They told us to go back behind them because they were moving forward, capturing more places and stuff like that. At that point in time, I lost contact with my two older brothers because they were part of the AFL, the National Army. I lost contact with them. I didn't see them again, but I heard that they got executed. So on our way to moving towards safety, because now they're capturing the place, now they're moving us back on the other side. So on our way going back, one of my older sister, her boyfriend suggested that we go to his town in one of the rural area, Grand Bassa County. So we're on our way on that side of town. While we're going, it's like a checkpoint. You walking, you're seeing bodies, you're seeing people doing stuff, and you're going through checkpoints. While going through a checkpoint, we got pulled out of the line. And they said they were putting us in jail, but it was like a unfinished house. While we're in there, I remember the day before they took her out to execute everybody. It's kind of, I still trying to understand it, because that day, that night, like early morning hours, everybody's sleeping. It's like we are laid along the wall, on the floor, right? So we woke up in the morning early. As soon as the daylight show up, they came knocking on the door and telling us, everybody get up, get up, get up, let's go. They had to pick a truck. And then we all lined up and got in the pickup truck, and they took us into a rubber plantation, big trees all over the place, and they took her in there. And the guy who was driving the truck pulled in front of him, and they all jumped down out of their car and started shooting at us. So I just lay there like I was dead, right? And I lay there like I was dead, and they kept shooting at everybody. And after they stopped shooting, then they started taking everybody off the car and throwing it on the ground. And I got threw to the ground, but I just acted like I was dead. And then they decided they were gonna go and get a shovel to dig to put us into the ground. And when they left, I was listening to make sure I didn't hear no sound. And then I got up. I got up to run. Yeah. So then I have a little niece that came along with me. You know, when I got to run, I heard her, and she started running after me. She too, nothing happened to her. So I held her hands and we started running. And my older brother girlfriend was there, but she got shot through the chest, like her breast on the other side. She was older than me, way bigger than me. I couldn't help her. So I ran with my little niece. We ran, and we just keep running the opposite way. And when they came back, they noticed that there was amazing bodies. So they started looking for us. They started shooting up in the air and running in different directions to find us. But I just held her by the hand and I just kept running. I kept running, and I didn't know where I was going. I was just going. I was just going till I can find somewhere. And then we got to a farm. We changed our clothes. We took the people's farm clothes and took the bloody clothes off of us. And we just kept going. We just kept going, asking people. I remember my mom saying that she had some relatives that lived on the other side of town. So we just kept asking people until we got to this place. And when we got there, it's like people I didn't know, but they were all relatives of my mom. Then my cousin that wanted to be a part of the airfield that got arrested and almost got killed, he shows up. I know him. So when I saw him, I was like, thank God I know somebody here. And he came and got me, and he was very upset. So he took me from everybody, and he asked me what happened. And I explained to him what happened, and he was very upset because my mom raised him. And he was part of the same guys that executed the family. So he took me, my grandmother begging not to take me, he took me and he trained me. He showed me how to shoot the gun, and he told me, look, we're gonna find him. We got to find him. He showed me how to shoot the gun, and he told me, look, we're gonna find him. We got to find him. While with him and going around with him, the other warring factions started to, draw closer and take over territories that we were within. And I remember seeing him because we got to the G2 office, and one of the commanding officer came, and he's like telling people to get in the car to go to the battlefield. I didn't have a gun with me. He had a gun. He took his gun from him because he refused to go, and he didn't want to leave me. He refused to go. He took a gun from him, and then he left. When he left, he told me, go back to the house. When I got back to the house, everybody in the house was scared because now they saw me as a threat to them because I didn't listen to them. I followed him, and now coming back here, they're struggling with if they should kick me out of the house because, if somebody should seize me and say, oh, he's one of them, they're gonna execute the whole family again. So they're struggling with that, and I didn't know what to do. So these guys came and took over this place, and they tell everybody to get out. And I'm with them, and they're scared. They don't know what to do. They're scared because they're thinking that because of me, they're gonna die too. So we all came out, and they told us to go towards the hospital because that was a safe zone to keep all the civilians. I made my way to the hospital with them. They went ahead of me. I made my way there. On my way there, I saw my cousin Jackie on the floor, on the ground, with bullet holes through it. So I was scared too. I'm like, oh, they killed him too, you know. So I made my way to the hospital. While in the hospital, I see people getting pulled out of the hospital and getting shot in the head and stuff like that, because it didn't take much for you to get killed. Someone just have to say, oh, he's one of the Chancellor rebels. I was over there and nobody pointed at me, and I stayed there until they decided the Chancellor rebels came back. When Chancellor rebel came back, to my surprise, it was my cousin that led them back to retake over this place. And when he came, he saw me, he grabbed me, he held me. He told me to follow the family on the other side. He told me not to stay. He said, follow the family and go. So I went with the family. We started going the other way. We went towards Grand Bowser County, and then we separated again. All right, so I was faced with the choice to go back to Monrovia, which was the capital city, where they had the ECMO people, the ECWA soldiers for safety, or stay there until my time comes for me to get pulled out or somebody come and kill me or something like that. And I decided I was going to get in the car and go to Monrovia. Now, before getting to Monrovia, you have to go through Prince Johnson rebel faction. You got to go through Chancellor people. You got to go through Prince Johnson people. And anybody can just say anything about you dead. There's no question asked, they're pulling you out, they're killing you. I'm like, I don't know what to do, but I want to get out of here. I'm scared. You know, I don't want to die, right? So this guy came and said, oh, your aunt gave me some money to come and grab you and take you. Will you come with me? I'm like, sure. So I got in his car. We drove through all the checkpoints, and nobody said nothing to me. All right, nobody said nothing to me until we got to Monrovia. And I got to Monrovia again. It's like moving from hell, and I'm moving closer to, I wouldn't call it heaven, but going to safety. When I got to Monrovia, I went back to my house where I grew up at, and my father was there, and he asked me what happened. I explained to him what happened, but I couldn't stay in the house. It was just not the same anymore. I couldn't stay there. So I moved out to my aunt's place. While I was there, then the war started again. All right, the war started again. Pretty much this time, I left my aunt's place. I gone to Monrovia, and I found myself at a Freeport. All right, there's shooting coming from all over the place. People are coming into the city, and there's people paying money to get on this ship. And I walk into the Freeport, stand by the ship. I want to get on this ship to go wherever the ship was going. I didn't know where it was going until somebody said it was going to Nigeria, but they were collecting money to get on this ship. I didn't have no money. So I'm standing there, and this guy saw me. He's like, he called me by the name I grew up with, Obo. He said, Obo, what's up? I said, I want to get on the ship. He said, you want to get on the ship? I said, yeah. He said, okay, come on. So he took me by the hand and walked me to the soldiers, and they try to stop him. And like, no, I just want him to grab me something, and he'll be back. And when we get past him, he told me, look, if you get out of this ship, you're on your own. So I went down to where to keep the containers and stuff. I hid myself over there. But I wasn't alone over there because there were a bunch of other people there. And the ship left Liberia. We stayed 7 days overseas until we got to Nigeria. When we got to Nigeria, I almost died because I couldn't keep nothing down my stomach. I was just weak and dehydrated. So I got some water. Stayed in Nigeria close to a year. And a guy that didn't know me from nowhere trusted me with his entire business, tell me to run the business. I just said, by the time I was probably like 15, 16 years old, and he leaving me with his entire stuff to run the place. I did that for a little while, and this other guy, my adopted family now, right? He's like a big brother to me. He came off the shop, we hanging out. He said, look, if you come with me to Ghana, I'm gonna help you come to America. I'm gonna help you come to America. I look at him like, you serious? He said, yes. I said, you really serious about that? He said, yes. I said, you sure? He said, yes. I said, good, let's do it. So I left Nigeria, go to Ghana, got to Ghana with the hope of, he helping me. His, family issue got a little bit weird. He left, came to America, left me there. And then I didn't know, but he started prep the paperwork for, refugee program because we were refugee in Ghana. But I thought he forgot me, but he started the process, but he didn't keep in touch with me. He was more talking to mom, and mom didn't really include me much into it until everything came down to it, and she called me and told me, we got to get ready for an interview and stuff like that. I was like, oh my goodness, this is really happening. So we did the interview and everything went well, and here we are today. Through it all, it's like, I don't understand much of it, but from the time I lied on that floor and acted like I was dead, it wasn't something I thought about. I didn't know what was going to happen, but that was God. All right, that was God keeping me in there and making sure, because these guys were shooting at us. They were shooting at us. Up to this point in time, it's still kind of it's still confusing for me that all of my family got shot, but I did, and here I am today. To face firing squad and nobody, and not one bullet touch you. So through it all, from that moment in time to going through, and even though I was angry or upset, I wanted to pay back, I wanted to hurt these people back, God still kept me alive. Knowing all of this and where I'm at right now, there's some things that I really can't explain, but I know that God brought me this far for a reason. And I'm still discovering that, but I think I have a good idea of what I'm leading to right now, compared to where I've been and to be where I am right now. So in a way, I'm grateful. I'm very, very thankful for life, but it was more of what it is that this life means to not just me, what it means to people, because God kept me and brought me this far for a reason, all right? And what that reason is still yet to be unfolded. But in little ways, people have looked me in the eyes and tells me that because of me, they are able to survive. And I remind them that no, it's not because of me. It's because what God was able to do to me to help you understand that he still exists. And there's still good in this earth that make you to do what you do, not me. I'm still looking for the what God has to do through me. And in the end, if there's anything should be said or done, it should bring glory to God. You know what I'm saying? And that's the ultimate thing. Because again, I'm just looking for the what God has to do more in my life, and what he will continue to do through me, and be a blessing to people.
Joe, I just want to thank you for taking the time to be with us, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
I'm amazed. Your smile, your composure, everything about what I see is God moving, and that is precisely our favorite thing. And so I want to ask you, how do you think how do you compose yourself? How do you live through what you've been through?
Well, it's really, really hard to put in words. It's moment by moment. It's understanding grace, accepting forgiveness, because many times you stumble and fall, and the devil has a way of reminding you of your fault more than the good things that God has done for you. And in that moment in time, if you listen to that, you will move farther away from God and not closer to Him.
I want to ask one last question. If there was one thing you wanted to tell everybody that I didn't ask you at all, what would that be?
Oh man, I have a lot to tell the word, but I can't really do all of that.
You got 3 hours?
Right. But I got the call from Jake, and he told me about what you guys are doing, and I was excited to come and talk about how God has moved through my life, and from where I came from to where I am right now. So, if anything, if there's one thing that I would tell anybody is that God is real.
Amen.
There's no question about it. God is real. And the whole reason why I am where I am and want to do what I want to do is because of where He brought me from to where I'm at right now. I'm from Liberia, West Africa, and if you have some knowledge of what that is, it's like we went through 14 years of civil war. And I was part of that in different ways, and here I am right now, and still standing.
Praise God.
And there are people that could have been here. I'm not better than them, but and understanding why God got me here and not there, it's something that I have to be thankful for every single day.
Amen. Thank you so much for being here with us, brother.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And for those of you watching, please bring the gospel of Jesus Christ, and we wish you Godspeed.